Number 1, deliver what the video is about immediately. That first 3 to 7 seconds in short form video is incredibly important. There are a lot of people that still try to introduce themselves, their credentials, give context. You don't need to do any of that. You only have 60 to 90 seconds in most cases to tell your entire story. We don't need a backstory. When the algorithm pops you up on somebody's page, they don't care who you are. If you're giving them value, if you're telling a good story, whatever it may be, as long as you tell the audience what this video is about immediately, they'll tune in. Which leads me to number 2, keep it concise. Since we're only working with a limited amount of time here, you want to trim the excess words. You want to trim the things that don't add value or don't add anything to your story. I feel like a lot of people tend to ramble on, which writing your content will help you out with that. Me personally, I write out all my content, or well, 98% of it. There's a lot of things that I'll come up with on the fly, but if I'm in the editing process and I feel like even the lines that I've written don't add any value to what I'm talking about, I'll cut it out. I don't need things to be a full 60 seconds, a full 90 seconds. I enjoy making my clips as concise and straight to the point as possible. I feel like people don't care if the algorithm is showing you to somebody who has no idea who you are. All they care about is this an interesting story? Or am I gonna learn something? Am I gonna laugh? You don't need to tell people to follow you or to like the post or comment on it. And if I were to do any of those things, it would be at the end if I have time. But in the beginning of the video, you want to keep it as concise and direct to the point as possible. If they want to follow you or if they enjoy your content, let them make that decision themselves. Number 3, no distractions. You don't need fancy cuts, crazy transitions, flashes and captions popping up every word. It is so distracting to the story. I promise you, people appreciate the simplicity of a good story, of good value, of a good tutorial, of a good tech review. You don't need any of that. If your story is interesting enough, you keep things concise. You're not trying to loop people in by baiting and switching what the content is really about just for clicks and views. A good story holds its weight on its own. All of that extra stuff is done and over with. People tend to think that every few seconds I need to keep the viewer's attention. If the story is there, you have their attention. There's not an amount of captions or silly transitions that you can add to a video and make something that isn't good, good. Which leads me to number 4, have a beginning, middle, and end. I know it might sound very obvious, but the middle is where I feel like a lot of people get confused how to deliver in a short form story or even long form stories. In every single movie, every single TV show, any story that has ever been told that was good has an issue or something you're trying to solve. And I'm not saying fabricate an issue, but when you talk about what the video is about in the beginning, you don't want to go from this intro and then say, this is what we did, and then we did this, and then we did this after, and then we did this. It feels like the viewer is following you doing errands, or it's a task. There is no real tension. Storytelling is all about tension and release, tension and relief. That is the basis of all stories ever told. You want to grab the viewer's attention, whether it be anxiety, sadness, excitement, whatever it may be, and release it at the end, resolve it. And lastly, but not least, number 5, be yourself. Yeah, I echo. It sounds really obvious again, but even myself, I used to have this problem, and I talk to a lot of people that also have this problem with critiquing themselves in the video. How they talk, how they dress, how they walk, how they move. Every little bit is picked apart because, I mean, we're our biggest critics, right? But if you fully accept who you are, what your mannerisms are, what your voice sounds like, you won't overthink your content anymore. You're 100% just accepting and being yourself in front of that camera, the same way as if when the camera's not on. I've grown to realize if there's something that I don't like about myself or presenting myself through videos, it's just something that I've grown to have to accept. The authenticity of who you are in front of the camera holds so much value because people can see that. They can sense that immediately if you're trying to be a different character. But at the end of the day, if you just be yourself, I promise you, that is way easier than pretending to be somebody else for your content. And there is a lot more longevity in that than fabricating a whole different persona for you. And that about wraps it up for my good people on the B&H channel.